Welcome into the Pride in Demorest, Georgia for CCS softball action between the visiting Wolves of Wesleyan and your Piedmont Lions. Welcome into the booth, everybody. Eric Edmondson here with you. Alongside me is Mr. Grant Prather. And Grant, after a very exciting day at the ballpark yesterday, the Lady Lions are looking to move to 6-0 in conference play.
Yeah, two pretty easy games against the Agnes Scotties yesterday. Megan Steinmeier had a no-hitter through 6 innings and kept that with a little pseudo walk-off for the Lions where they won 8-0 and then they won 15-1 in the second game. So just a great job for them coming out yesterday, and though right back at the exact same time today.
Hey, you love to see it. Love to see early softball going on. It looks like we might get going a couple minutes early on. And Megan Steinmeier is going to be in the circle for the Lions once again after coming off of her no-no in that first game. And Wesleyan, you know, you look at the stat line for them. They're 1-13 on the year. That one win actually coming against the former member of the CCS, which is Berea. Like I said, they're 1-13. But the hitting stats, they don't look bad, Grant. But then you look at the pitching, and the pitching is what's holding these Wolves back.
Yeah, most of their averages are in the 300 range, so a pretty good clip there. But then you look at the ERAs, and most of them are double digits, you know, in about the 10 or above. So it's definitely been the pitching that's been the reason. They've had a couple games where they've given up 20-plus runs. One of them was just shorter. So that's been their issue. Maybe they'll look to turn it around today.
Absolutely. Everybody getting announced on the field right now. We're going to take a break and bring it back after the national anthem. You're watching Piedmont Lions Softball on YouTube. Welcome back inside, everybody. Going to give you the starting lineups for both squads. Grant, you want to kick us off with what Wesleyan is rolling out there this afternoon?
Yeah, so leading off for them will be the left fielder, Tatum. And then it'll be Humphreys at second base. It'll be McElveen at third base. Leviano at catcher, Campbell at short. Tomlinson as their DH. Wright at first. And Blankenship will be pitching. And then Fabian Hernandez will be at center field, and then Sawyers at right field.
And for the Lions, they're going to throw out this lineup. Maddie Speak's going to lead off and be in the shortstop position, followed by Jasmine Lowry. She'll be at first base. Out in right field patrolling is Mandy Peretti. Megan Steinmeier is the DP, and batting in the cleanup spot, Haley Centrone's at the hot corner. Jordan Green behind the plate. Maddie Chronic at second. Votava in left, and Nerva in center, batting ninth. McKinley Tatum getting ready to climb in, left-handed bat, as both corners are rather looking like it's just going to be Centrone coming out on the corner. It's going to be Chronic coming in out of the dirt, the outer dirt. And the first pitch is a swinging strike, and we are underway 4 minutes early. Like to see that. Steinmeier's second pitch is outside, we'll call it, and it's going to be safe. No swing. Holding up in time is Tatum. 62 degrees at game time. It's a very pretty day here on campus. Would say not a cloud in the sky, but you look across the horizon, you see a couple of outstretched stratus clouds.
Just hanging around.
Right above the commons. Supposed to get some bad weather in tonight. Hopefully not too bad. Don't want a sequel to what happened last weekend. 1-2 pitch on the way. Just outside. Green will fire it back to the circle. It'll be a 2-2 count. Two-two pitch coming. High and tight, and that'll fill up the count. Tough customer is Tatum leading off the ball game. Was swinging early, and now being a little bit more cautious of what she's trying to slap into play. So Tatum sets. Here's the pitch from Steinmeier, and it's rolled over to the home dugout. Centrone will pick it up and fire it in. Tatum, the freshman, coming in batting .371, a .511 OBP. Again, the batting stats aren't the problem for this Wesleyan group, and they're going to have the leadoff runner on. Leadoff walk after having her down 1-2. And assume Wesleyan has some speed on the base paths. In fact, they do. Team leader in stolen bases is Tatum, 4 of them. That'll bring up Alexis Humphreys, who's batting .447, team leader in batting average. And she squares a bunt, pulls it back, and takes strike 1. Creeping in around the corner was Lowry. Give you the defensive alignment for the Lions. It's Centrone at third, Speaks at shortstop, Chronic at second, and Lowry over there at first base. This one's popped up out of play. Tatum was going, but it'll be an 0-2 count on the big bopper at the top of the lineup for the Wolves.
I like the idea to challenge the Wolves early on in this count with a runner on first. You're going to force them to put the ball in play and have to swing.
Absolutely. And they're going to say the runner left early, so Tatum's out. Hey, we'll take that. That's a gift right there.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Left to right in the outfield is Votava, Nerva, and Peretti. And, of course, in harness with Steinmeier is Green. And now, going to have umpires conversate again. Now we're talking about the count. Yes, should be 0-1 if they're going to call that the runner was out before the previous pitch. And, yes, it should be. So leadoff runner erased and an 0-1 count as Steinmeier leans back and twirls it. This one into center field. Nerva has some trouble with it early on, but is able to calculate it into the blue sky and puts it in leather for the second out.
Now batting third baseman Sydney McElveen.
Here's Sydney McElveen. McElveen, the sophomore. This is a group of Wolves that is very much sophomore and freshman heavy. It's a young team as McElveen swings and misses at one down low.
Only 2 seniors for these Wolves and 2 juniors as well. So very, very young team. Lots of room to grow, and that's kind of exemplified by the pitching stats as well as the hitting stats. They got a lot of talent on the bats.
You know, speaking of Wesleyan just as a whole, the whole athletics is trying to really grow. They're trying to get a lot more talent there, and it starts young. I admire what they're trying to do down in Macon, Georgia. They're trying to start young. You know, I know that the entire athletics group had a lot of expectations coming into this year. Maybe they haven't panned out just yet, but for a lot of these young players, it's a learning experience along the way. This is their first shot at collegiate ball in whatever sport it is. So either way, they're going to learn something out of this first year, and hopefully they grow from it. You got to start somewhere. So 1-2 count on McElveen. Comes in with a .444 slug. That's third on the team. And she will strike out looking. Good inning from Steinmeier. Gets some help from the umpires as well as the Wolves, but gets out of trouble without much to her name. We go to the bottom of the first. Lions coming up. You're watching Piedmont Lions Softball on YouTube.
for the Lions.
Welcome back to the WAC, everybody. Leading off for the Lady Lions. Whoop, had my paper mixed up there. It'll be Maddie Speaks, then Jasmine Lowry, and Mandy Peretti behind her. Be facing off against pitcher Haley Blankenship. Blankenship 0-5 on the year. She is the most tenured pitcher this season in terms of innings pitched, 19 2/3 innings pitched, and she fires in a first pitch strike to Maddie Speaks. Liner right into the glove of Campbell at shortstop, and there's one away. That will bring up Jasmine Lowry. Good time to tell you about the defense for the Wolves of Wesleyan. Left to right on the infield, it'll be McElveen at third. Campbell at shortstop, just mentioned her. Humphreys at second. And right over there at first base in harness with Blankenship is Laviano. As the first pitch from the young Blankenship misses down low in the dirt. Left to right in the outfield, it looks like Tatum, Hernandez, and Sawyers. Lowry waits for the first pitch. Yeah, or the second pitch, rather, and takes a strike. 1-1 the count. And Grant, we've just moved so fast in this broadcast so far, we didn't even mention all the effort and all the action that was put forth yesterday by the Lady Lions, which you were on call for.
Yeah, it was senior day, too, so a great job to take care of business, as one of my old coaches would say. But women did everything early. They scored 9 runs in the first 2 innings of that second game, and then obviously the pseudo walk-off to run rule in that first game, and then we kept talking about the no from Megan Steinmeier, but just a great showing from them. Nothing else you can really add on to it besides just tremendous.
The Lions have been red hot offensively to start the year. A 1-2 count on the way from Blankenship. This one chopped right over her head. Campbell's got another shot at shortstop. She flings it across the diamond to right, and there are 2 away.
One thing the Lions did have yesterday was a bit of luck with the Scotties' fielding woes, and those 2 plays definitely showed that might not be an everyday occurrence. So today might be a different story.
Yeah, the fielding for Wesleyan by the numbers does not look too bad. Everybody running around a upper 900 clip. Exception of McElveen at shortstop, or rather at third base, running a 906 fielding percentage, as that one misses low and away to Mandy Peretti, the right fielder for the Lions. Lady Lions in their gray and green pinstripes, gray uniforms, green pinstripes. Lions on the chest in green, outlined in gold. Wesleyan takes the field in all white unis with Wesco across the chest. I have not heard Wesleyan College be called Wesco.
I like it.
Very clean uniforms, accented with purple lettering and purple socks. Good count for Peretti. 2-0 as the pitch from Blankenship is lined into left field, a base hit. So first knock of the day for either squad. That'll bring up the cleanup batter, and it's going to bring up Davis. You know, usually we have some trickery with the lineup here with the Lions, but not today. Bailey Davis is going to stand in her place. And I love the mix that the Lions have at the top of the lineup. They go left, right, right, left. I love having that mix. This one on the ground, chopper up the middle, through, base hit. Around second, digging for third is Peretti. She's going to get in there standing, and it's a pair of 2-out singles for the Lady Lions, and they got a little bit of life here as they get deeper into that lineup with Haley Centrone coming up.
Yeah, 2 soft liners to start it out in those 2 early outs, but now all of a sudden bats on ball and 2 hard hits result in runners in the corners.
That big wide open space of dirt right up the middle as Centrone squares a bunt, and bluffing a throw down to second is Laviano, and they're just going to let Davis take it. Didn't want to risk the throw down because they know the speed that's capable over at third base. So instead of a run coming home there, they wager, they think they can get Centrone out. Thing is, Centrone puts one in the gap. That's 2 runs instead of just 1. 1-0 pitch Ball upstairs.
Even possibly if she gets one up the middle, that could still score Davis if it sneaks
You get a
past.
good jump on it, yeah. Wind lazily blowing out towards center field. Old Glory not taking for too much of a ride as it wraps around the pole. 2-0. Low and away, ball 3. On deck is Jordan Green. Green still sporting the shin guards in the on-deck circle. Should Centrone get out here? See if she's got the green light on a 3-0. Blankenship twirls and fires, and Centrone does not have the green light, and she'll take the jog down to first base. So early on, Wesleyan in a little bit of trouble. They got 2 quick first outs thanks to Campbell over at shortstop. But now, Lions, big threat here in the bottom of the first inning. And we mentioned how aggressive that offense was yesterday. We'll see if that rolls over to today. I mean, they've been pretty free swinging so far, and they made some decent contact. Couple singles and a walk put them in business. Let's see if Green can cash in. She takes a first pitch high. Blankenship coming into this game, 21 walks to 5 Ks. 1-0. And that was her first walk of the day to Centrone as that paints the outer half for a strike. So even up the count to Jordan Green. Checks the wrist, does Blankenship, and fires a 1-1, and Green watches it upstairs. It's a great position to be patient here if you're the Lions. Blankenship just trying to find the zone. And anytime she has put in the zone, has been left a little fat. The Lions have had a great see at it. 2-1 offering as Green puts one on the ground. Campbell, another chance for her, and she will escape the bases. Loaded jam with a firing over to first base. So Lions strand them loaded, but are seeing Blankenship well early on. We go to the top half of the second. Steinmeier goes back to work. You're watching Piedmont Lions softball on YouTube. Welcome back to the WAC. It'll be Taylor Laviano, Stacia Campbell, and Tomlinson due up for the Wolves here in the top half of the second inning. Catcher Laviano, a freshman, much like most of her Wolves compatriots. As that one's pounded into the zone for strike 1. This one's off the hot hand of Centrone, and Speaks holds on to it. And that's why they call it the hot corner, folks. Centrone's had a glove on that one, but it viciously kicked off the heel of her mitt, and that's going to be an infield single for Taylor Laviano.
Yeah, blink of an eye right at her. Tough reaction time and a good job by Speaks to at least try to back her up, but throw obviously not even a chance to go over to first.
Now batting shortstop, Stacia Campbell.
Here's Stacia Campbell. A little bit of a villain for the Lions in the bottom half of the first inning. as she accounted for or was a part of all 3 of those outs recorded. Stop that bases loaded jam. Takes first pitch strike here from Steinmeier, as yet again the Wolves had the leadoff runner on. This one popped up just beyond the infield. Nerva's coming in, tries to make a sliding stop, and she won't be able to. And the Lions try to get the runner at second base, but it's no good. That was a very gutsy effort by Nerva. It was well out of her range, but she did make an effort to come in. It kicked off her glove, and now the Wolves are threatening even more as they have a runner in scoring position with nobody out, and that'll bring up Michaela Tomlinson.
Yeah, Nerva had to be the one to go on that play. She had all the momentum coming from center field, but just was a split second behind it.
That's on the ground and bunted foul. A little bit too much English there. Would have been a good one, but man, oh man, did it have spin coming off the barrel. So it'll be a 0-1 count for Tomlinson. Bunt again, and this one again is foul.
That one ran in on the hands a little bit. She couldn't get in front of it as much as she would have wanted to. That one was way on the inside of the plate.
So Wesleyan trying to generate as much offense as they can. Now find themselves in a little bit of a tight spot here with Tomlinson. We'll see if she goes again. She's not. 0-2. She's caught looking. That's that give and take with the sacrifice bunt. If you can't get it fair, it counts as a strike. It puts you in a tough spot. You're Summer right. Corner's still creeped in here for the Lions, as that one just misses outside. 1-0. Inning started with a hard hit ball over to Centrone at third by Labiano. Just Centrone couldn't handle it. Not to her lack of skill. It was just hitting the perfect spot to hit her glove, or hit the heel of her glove and pop right out. 1-1 on the way. Trying to paint the inner half again is Steinmeier, but maybe misses a little bit too inside and a little bit too low.
And today, as well as yesterday, she's been trying to paint the outside, but now trying to bring it back to the inside, maybe try to get a jam in with 2 runners on.
Yep. And a big swing and a miss there from right. Two on the way. High and away, not a bad idea to see if she can get right to chase, but now Steinmeier in a full count here. On deck, the pitcher Haley Blankenship. 3-2 offering from Steinmeier. Got her swinging. Strike 3. Third strikeout of the day for Steinmeier. And a key second out here in the top half of the second inning. That's going to bring up Haley Blankenship. Cuts and misses at a high heater. Now behind the count, 0-1. Blankenship not afraid to help herself out. Batting .381 on the season. A .476 slug. Misses outside. 1-1. Popped up. That'll land out of play. Puts it at a 1-2 count.
Wolves barely behind Steinmeier. Everything is late or just no contact at all because it's too late.
Yeah, Steinmeier's got a little extra heat today. 1-2. Again, same result. We'll line it up again. You know, that was a confidence boost for her yesterday. You know, in her post-game interview, she didn't even know she had what she was going. That's how locked in you get. You don't even know what's occurring. Looking to put her away and put an end to the Wolf threat. Not a bad idea. Not a bad spot to miss there, but just a touch outside. As Deuces run wild here. 2 on, 2 out with 2-2 count as Blankenship digs back in. Number 2-6 twirling the ball in the circle. Fires and just missed inside. So we're going to fill it up again. Man, Steinmeier not missing by much. She's dotting those corners, but it's an excellent eye by Blankenship, the freshman. 3-2. This one on the ground, through the hole, a base hit. Coming up firing here is Votava. Here comes the runner. It's going to be a close play, and Green unable to hang on to the ball. And the Wolves strike first off an RBI base knock by the pitcher Blankenship. Told you she's not afraid to help herself out. That'll extend the inning now for the number 9 hole hitter here in Hernandez.
Yeah, Steinmeier put in a tough situation with full count and 2 gone because then both runners went, and then that just resulted in a single scoring a run from all the way from second. And a great throw, just Green couldn't hang on.
So the Wolves in the run column first this afternoon. And that's going to cue a visit from Coach Martin. A little surprising here early on. I don't think Steinmeier's throwing it wrong or sequencing wrong here. Maybe just an attempt to calm her down. As it is, things did snowball on her a little bit here. But Grant, tipped the cap to the Wolves, and we mentioned in the pregame, this is not a team their offensive stats are not bad at all.
Yeah, it's just at the end of the day, it's their pitching, which obviously getting out of a baseless loaded jam in the bottom of the first does help them out. But the bats, they can wake up whenever they need to. Obviously, have 3 hits already with 2 runners on now, but that's the only reason why they're a 1-13 record is really just because of those pitching stats.
So the Lions trying to stop out the Wolf threat in the top half of the second inning. We'll face off against the number 9 hole hitter and Ava Hernandez. That misses upstairs from Steinmeier as now it falls to a 2-0 count. On deck to the top of the lineup in McKinley Tatum. Walked her first time up to lead off the ball game. And now Steinmeier has gone 3 straight balls to the number 9 hole hitter.
She does have an open base, though, so it's not okay if you get a walk, but it's acceptable.
That is exactly what's going to happen. Second walk for Steinmeier, and we'll flip it to the top of the lineup here.
No batting left fielder, McKinley Tatum.
McKinley Tatum, 371 batting average. And a 5'11 OBP, mentioned that before. She's an on-base machine. As a pair of infielders of the Lions comes in as that one misses high and outside. 5 in a row for Steinmeier. Might be time for a breath as she takes an extended walk behind the slab. Centrone as well as Chronic creeping in. 1-0 is high and inside. They're going to say a hitter.
Man.
Didn't see nor hear that. Either way, it's going to be a run for Wesleyan as they keep the bases loaded. Now Coach Martin out there having a conversation with a home plate umpire. He's got the lineup card in hand. Might be a swap in order for Piedmont. I believe it might be, actually. Yeah, so Steinmeier getting the plug pulled on her early, or at least to get out of this jam. It looks like Summer McCraney is going to be the arm called upon to get the Lions out of this second.
23.
So, yeah, it's going to be Summer McCraney. We'll tell you about her when we come back. You're watching Piedmont Lions Softball on YouTube.
Second baseman Alexis Humphreys.
Be Summer McCraney coming into the circle to get the Lions out of this jam. The sophomore out of Gray, Georgia. That is a strike on the inner half. We'll take that one. Big cut and a miss there from Humphreys. Now the Lions a strike away here. Oh, 2. Lined out to right field and down for a base hit. One comes home. Here comes the next one. And the Wolves have exploded for 4 here in the top half of the second. Just snuck under the glove of Peretti, and Wright made a diving effort at that. But a good 2 RBI base knock here from Humphreys keeps the merry-go-round spinning for Sidney McElveen. Well, McElveen, excuse me. Sorry, Grant.
Wolves doing a good job of finding the target in the outfield where they need to get the ball down. That one a step behind Wright. So just a great job by their bats to get a early 4 spot in the second.
Just lights a fire under these Lions to get back to the bat rack and start swinging it well. (2-0). McCraney takes a little bit of a walk here. Runners on the corners with 2 down here. It's been 2 down for a minute. And a strike called on the Oh, man. Whoa. Hey, we will take it. You know, sometimes you just see them and you're just, you can't have nothing but a laugh at that one. So 2-1, McCraney leans back and fires, and a chopper to Cintrone. Cintrone takes the easy route over the first base, and the side is retired, but not before Wesleyan strikes for 4. Lions got some work to do heading to the bottom of the second inning. You're watching Piedmont Lions softball on YouTube. Lions back at it here in the bottom of the second inning. It'll be 7, 8, and 9. That's Chronic, Votava, and Nerva due up. Lions got to get something back here. 4 come across home plate in the top half of the inning. Good disciplined at-bats by Wesley in that inning. I'll say that. That one drops in for strike 1. Chronic using a red bat here. Swings this one and puts it down the line. Hey, put good barrel on it, but gave a little bit of a spook to the parents lining the right field side.
Going back to what you said about the Wesleyan plate appearances in that last inning, they just took their time when they needed to. Even when they were ahead in the count, they were still taking pitches that weren't as close as they would need to.
Chronic down in the hole, looking to dig back out. Blankenship checks the forearm here. Leans back the 0-2. Chronic watches it upstairs, and that one pops in and out of the middle. Aviano. And she'll go to retrieve it from the backstop. One, two. Off the hands. That's going to find no man's land and spin to the right. If that was on the left side, I wonder if Chronic might have been thinking 2 there. But it's going to drop in for a leadoff single, and that'll bring up Kennedy Votava.
Not bad, left fielder, Kennedy Votava.
Goes down as a line drive in the scorebook, though. So Chronic bluffs a run as Votava bluffed a bunt. And that ball upstairs anyway, so nobody gets what they want. McElveen in at third base, as is the first baseman Wright. They're creeping. As that one stays upstairs. Now 2-0. Good count here for Votava to work with.
Maybe Blankenship trying to get Votava to step on the ground. She's sending some off-speed her way, trying to get it over towards second or first.
See you with the 2-0. Inside. It'll be 3-0.
You got to be careful if you're Blankenship here because the top of the order is right around the corner. You got the 9-1 and 2 after Votava here.
Yep. Votava, a 788 OPS coming into this one. And she'll take the first strike of this sequence. This bottom of the lineup for the Lions, it really is just a table-setting part of the lineup. They're speedy. They like to take their walks. They like to be irritating hitters. 3-1. And no frame job is going to work there from Laviano as it misses outside. Votava streaks down to first base on a speeder, and that'll bring up Hartley Nerva.
Now that center fielder, Hartley Nerva.
First plate appearance here for Hartley. Back-to-back base runners have the Lions in business here. If Nerva can just find a way on, that sets the table perfectly for Maddie Speaks, who waits. That one misses upstairs. Wright as well as Campbell in here. Nerva does try to lay a bunt. It's going to roll foul, though, as everybody will have to return back to their respective positions. Hartley tries a bat spin there to get it back in her hand. I don't even do that. I've done that a time or two. Maybe not a time or two. How about a timer dozen? 1-1 on the way from Blankenship. There is a bunt right back to Blankenship. She's going to have one play. Beautiful bunt by Nerva as both runners advance. One away on the board, and that'll turn it over to the top of the lineup here with Maddie Chronic. That a way to just do your job. She's going to get a lot of high fives heading back to the dugout.
The perfect time to put that squeeze on. Advance those runners to second and third. Both of them in scoring position now for the top of the lineup.
Now you got to do it. Maddie Speaks, a line out to Campbell at shortstop her first time up. See what she's seeing from Blankenship in this plate appearance. She's going to take a ball on the first pitch. Outfield is playing way in here. You can try to sneak one past into the gap. You run forever, and Blankenship loses that one. But she's going to be helped out by Laviano, who's able to jump out of the crouch quickly and get that one. She even had enough time to snap throw down to third base to make sure that Chronic, or rather, excuse me. No, I was right. Chronic wasn't running anywhere. So a good count here for Maddie. 2-0. And this one's drilled to left center field. That's down for a base hit and more. Speaks around first base. Now she wants 3. She's going to get it. Gets the big stop sign from Coach Martin. She wanted more, but either way, the Lions cut the lead in half with a 2 RBI triple from Maddie Speaks.
Talked about that outfield playing close. That definitely went to their disadvantage, and a bad angle in left for the Wolves, and that results in that perfect triple from Speaks.
Yep. They are still way in. And you leave enough green out past you, that exactly is what happens. You get speed at the top of the lineup, and now you have another runner just waiting at third base, a wild pitch or an error, and it's going to be 4-3. This one up the middle, or a base hit works as well. The Lions now 1 run behind, thanks to Jasmine Lowry putting it right back where it came from over the second base bag.
Talked about the bats being hot, and there it is again. They've been doing such a good job of putting the ball in play, but not just that, with a lot of exit velo behind it, not one a complete rip up the middle.
Now, Peretti stands in. Rawlings' bat laying on her shoulder, waiting for Blankenship, and this one taken upstairs. Not a bad idea there by Peretti to try to miss that one a little bit higher. If you put it down lower, you might run into a little bit of an ambush. Sure, Peretti's ready to swing it. Whew. That one low and away for strike one. That's okay. Have a couple of those.
That outside pitch for righty, specifically on that right side of the plate. Definitely umpires starting to call that a little bit outside.
One. This one drilled to left center field. That ball's back, and up against the wall, right against the base. Lowry's around third. Here she comes home, and it's another triple for the Lions as they have struck right back. It's 4-4. So Attaway to come back. The Wolves were dinking and dunking balls right along the outfield, and the Lions have struck back with 2 extra base hits and a lot of exit velo, like you said, Grant, behind it.
It's all dunks now for the Lions instead of dink and dunks. These have been great hits. That one, again, set into that left center gap. That grass over there is going to work out today.
I'll bring up Bailey Davis, single her first time up. And things have quickly spiraled here for Blankenship. Hey, we have mentioned multiple times, the hitting is the strong part of this Wesleyan squad. And is that going to be an out there? No, yeah, going to be a foul ball. Now it's a tough one for Wright. She grabbed it in fair territory, but then threw it back over. Or I don't know. I don't know exactly what.
I think it was just barely out, maybe 2 feet before first base. Yeah,
it had to be something like that. It was close. Runners at third base, just one, no plural. 0-1. This one, Chopper. Right back to Blankenship. It's off her glove. One's going to score, and the Lions take their first lead of the afternoon. Did call it? Can we? Well, I'm going to call that a sacrifice bunt. I'm not going to write it down as one. It's not in the book as one, but that worked like a sacrifice bunt.
And RBI is an RBI.
RBI's.
Yeah. Good job to put it in play by Davis. That's all she needed to do with a runner on third and a good speedy runner on third at that.
Listen, I might sound, well, this might be a little bit of a boomer take, an older take. Hate strikeouts. She just put the ball in play. Just put the dang ball in play. This one lined over the mid of Campbell and into the outfield, a base knock. Around first digging for second was Syndrome, but she slams on the brakes and runs back over. The Lions giving Blankenship no breathing room whatsoever. It is hit after hit after hit, even if those are counting as outs. The Lions are swinging it well. We saw that in the bottom half of the first inning, and now it translates here to 5 runs so far in the second.
And it's not just hit after hit, it's swing after swing. They're swinging very early in the count.
So we got to get 13 or 12. 12, yeah. Or hopefully it's 12. Here's hoping.
That misses outside from Blankenship. Snap throw down to first base, back in with an eye is Centrone. And a 2-0 count now on the batter, Green. Green, a ground out last time up. That ended that bases loaded threat last inning. I know it feels like a while ago for both squads. This has been a long second inning. 2-0. well upstairs and in and out of the mitt of Laviano. And around second, going for third is Centrone, and she is out. That was an excellent throw from Laviano. And a cardinal sin committed by the Lions. You don't make the first to third out at third base. But Lions take the lead. 5 runs come across the board in the second inning. We'll throw it to the top half of the third and look to keep it right there. You're watching Piedmont Lions softball on YouTube.
For the Wolves, the catcher, Taylor Laviano.
Laviano made the last out, or, no, that's right. Made the last out of the last half inning. Now gets to start off this one. 5 runs came across the board for the Lions last half inning. Now it's going to be up to Summer McCraney to keep things where they are. Pretty good way to start as that one's fired in for strike numero uno. That one outside. Laviano started off that rally for the Wolves last inning with an infield single. That one was the hot hit off of Centrone's heel at third base. This one off the bat, deep to left field and right near the wall. Votava unable to get a good read off of it in the sky, and it'll be a leadoff double for Laviano. And the last inning, and now the start of this one is any indication, folks, strap in. This might be a slugfest for the first game.
And Laviano, great timing on that one. That was a loud hit and straight over the head in left field.
Here's Stacia Campbell, single herself last time up. McCraney fires and gets a strike for her efforts. Oh, 1. High and away, ball 1. Off the end of the hands rather, and a lot of spin for Speaks, and yeah, just a good idea to hang off it, but the Wolves are doing it again.
Good job by Speaks to at least stay in front of it instead of having to run over. She decided to slide over, and that left the ball at least in front of her. But runners on first and second either way, no matter how that play would have panned out.
So got to be careful here. Michaela Tomlinson went down looking last time up, and that is an excellent move by Chronic. It was going to be a fantastic bunt by Tomlinson, but it goes left to the line, and everybody has to go back, and Tomlinson, including Tomlinson, who will now have a strike to her name. In fact, Tomlinson and Wright both were victims of strikeouts last time, but that was to Megan Steinmeier, who started this game, had to get pulled last inning. Lost a little bit of control. It happens. That's why you got relief pitchers to help you out. 1-1. Outside. 2-1 now. 2 on with nobody down. Similar start for the Wolves as they did last inning. That one just inside. Just inside. Good call. But now a deeper hole for the Lions to crawl out of. And Tomlinson's going to take time here to see the sign from her coach. Tomlinson waves a bat, 3-1. She takes strike 2 at the knees. She was already halfway down to first.
It's a bad feeling having to go back.
Off the hands and sent back. It'll be a full count again. Just a couple other games happening around the CCS right now. Huntington is in Maryville playing the Scots. 3-2. Popped up. Way up there. Chronic, glasses gleaming, brings it out of the sky. That'll be the first out.
Not batting first baseman. Spencer, right? Summer right, correction.
Summer Wright stands in. Went down swinging last time she was up. This one's into center field. Nerva won't be able to play it, but on a hop. She tries to trigger it in quickly to get the runner at third, but she's not going to be able to. Everybody plays station to station, and the Wolves have them loaded with one away. So I'll bring up Blankenship. Big opportunity to help her own cause here. With bases loaded and one away, RBI single for her last time up. So now the infield comes in. Blankenship is free swinging. She does want to help herself out as she waves at one that's well outside and sends it back. A 1 on the way from McCraney. Well outside. On the ground, up the middle, base hit. It's tied, and now the lead will go into Wesleyan's hands. It was fumbled in center field by Nerva. And again, Blankenship helped herself out as she has accounted for 3 of those runs on the board for herself. And it looks like it might be another call to the bullpen here for Coach Martin as McCraney might get relieved of duties here in this 3rd inning. At least they were making sure somebody's warming. Don't know if they're ready yet or not. So McCraney's still going to be in this game. But again, Wesleyan swinging it well. They are a tough out at the plate.
No, batting center fielder, Eva Hernandez.
Eva Hernandez takes the ball outside. Hernandez reached on a walk last time she was up. One coming down the pipe as it misses again. Lions just having a hard time finding the strike zone here early on, both Steinmeier and McCraney. And that trend will continue. 2 on with 1 away, 3-0. Ball 4. Whoa!
That's exactly what we saw yesterday, Eric. I'm as surprised as you are. That outside corner is very, very favorable for these umpires.
3-1. 3-2.
Another instance of, hey, we'll take it.
Okay. So, McCraney gifted a 3-2. Won't be able to do anything with it. It'll be a walk to load the bases. I'll bring up McKinley Tatum. Lions still trying to buy some time for that arm in the bullpen. An assumed arm in the bullpen. We can't see it, but Coach Martin has motioned towards there multiple time as Tatum swings and fouls that one back. Double-barreled action, I'm being told, in the bullpen. Oh, 1. 0-2 as this one rattles off the fence. So McCraney, a strike. Get that a very key second out here. Alexis Humphreys waits on deck. 2 RBIs for her last time. McKinley, an RBI for her last time after a hit by pitch. That one bounces away from Green, but short backstop here at the field forces the runner to stay put at third. Not the exact pitch I'm sure they were cooking up, but like the idea of trying to motion outside, just forcing you to get super extended on that one. Most likely going to get some weak contact. 1-2 as McCraney puts the ball in the glove, kicks and fires, and this one's a squibber on the ground. They're going to come home. 1 is out there, and that is a good play by Centron. And I don't think that it looked like Wright didn't realize the bases were loaded because she hesitated. Don't know if she was going to be able to beat that throw, but either way.
I was surprised not to see a white jersey running down that third base line, but Centron still would have made the throw in time, like you mentioned.
This one a chopper out to Chronic, and Chronic lets it through the legs. 2 are going to come home on it. And the Wolves pile on here. A costly error by Chronic. And Wesleyan now up 8-5.
Chronic tried to play the weird bounce in the dirt, but instead went just a bit too high. That ball went straight flat through her legs. Tough break.
So I'll bring up Sydney McElveen.
Now back there next to Sydney McAfee.
She takes a strike.
The numbers are buzzing. I don't know. I can't see it. So I just look at the helmets.
Oh yeah, at least
Yeah.
McElveen sends that one back. Now it's 0-2. McCraney looking to put an end to this inning. Won't be able to with that one as that one dances a little bit too far outside. 2 on with 2 down. One, 2 incoming here from McCraney. High and away, ball 2. So Deuces wild again. 2 on, 2 down, and a 2-2 count. And a good job by McElveen to work it back to a 2-2. McCraney wheels back and fires and misses down and in. Full count. On deck is Taylor Laviano, led off this inning with a double to left field. Came around to score later on. 3-2. Ball 4. So Laviano will see action here in this inning.
Now batting the catcher, Taylor Laviano.
So the Wolves have batted around here. First pitch of the sequence is low for ball one.
This time for McCraney, there's no base open, so you have to pitch to Laviano. Give her some to hit.
"1-0. Off the hands. Laviano had a good cut at that one, tried to drive it to left, but a little bit too far inside. "1-1. Popped up infield. Chronic and Lowry over. Lowry's going to be the one to grab it, and the side is retired. But another 4 spot put on the board here by Wesleyan. The Lions are going to have to keep on fighting the Wolf surge. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. 8-5 Wolves. Be Jordan Green due up. She was left in the batter's box when Centrone was caught stealing to end the 2nd inning rally for the Lions. And they're going to need another rally here in the 3rd. Lions trail by 3 as Blankenship gets ready for the first offering. Green watches it disappear low for ball one. "1-0. This one lined into center field for a base hit. Playing it in front of her is Hernandez, enough to keep it in front of her, as Green will stay put at first base. I'll bring up Maddie Chronic.
Now batting at second base with Maddie Chronic.
Chronic 1 for 1. Excuse me?
Correction, pinch hitter number 13, Addie Perkins.
Perkins is going to come in for Chronic. "1-0 on the way. Perkins puts this one in the air, left field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. So good swinging off the bench.
It was good swinging yesterday, too. Perkins had a couple pinch hit appearances and played most of that second game, and she was swinging the bat well.
Here's Katie Votava. Walked last time she was up. As the infield comes in here a little bit for the Lions left fielder. She does put down a pretty good bunt. Throw down to first base, not in time. Bunt single, bases loaded. That was textbook by Votava. And that brings up Hartley Nerva. Lions threatening quickly here. Looking to come back.
Yeah, you can go ahead and add one more hit. Yeah, that's not that. No, you're good.
That one upstairs from Blankenship.
Probably no, but she could have. That's my bad. You're good. Fair. Checks and balances. Checks and balances.
Blankenship looks at the forearm. Wheels back, fires, and takes ball 2.
How about this to rebound? Give up a 4 spot in the top of the third. Now you have the bases loaded with a 2-0 count with no one out.
It was just like last inning. Like I said, this might be a little bit of a slugfest. Not a bad idea there, just take until you get a strike there from Nerva. Sacrifice bunt for her last time up. Two 2-1 from Blankenship. Here it is. Nerva swings and pops that one foul. I'll land on the soccer field or lacrosse field. However you're feeling. So a 2-2 count here. Just find a way to get on. Send one of those runners home. Two. This one's off the hands. Will it fall in? It will. Base knock for Nerva. One comes home to score, and the Lions play station to station as they fight on back. They're now down 2.
Back to the top of the order. Now batting the shortstop, Maddie Speaks.
Here's Maddie Speaks. And that's going to draw a visit from the coach for Wesleyan. As the Lions just keep on rolling. And we're going to get a new pitcher here. So we'll tell you all about the new arm for the Wolves when we come back. You're watching Piedmont Lions Softball on YouTube. New pitcher for the Wolves is Caitlin McCord, the junior. McCord in 8 appearances this year, for 18 and a third innings pitch, 18 walks to 8 Ks. And stands in with the bases loaded against the top of the lineup, and Maddie Speaks, and Speaks takes a ball in the first one. Speaks drove one to the left center field gap last time she was up for 2 RBI triple. Later came home to roost herself. It's been a long pair of innings here at the WAC. Both teams exchanging spots on the board. Snap throw down to third base, but back in with a dive is Perkins. McCord looks in to her catcher. Gets the right grip on the ball and misses upstairs. High and away, 2-0. Good count here for Speaks. Jasmine Lowry waits on deck. All three of these top three hitters for the Lions have a base knock so far. Or excuse me, 3-0. Ball 4. The Lions now a run behind, 8-7.
Had a great start from McCord. 4 straight balls to start her out in with the bases loaded. You'd think she would have gone for a challenge pitch, but everything was outside.
8-7 as McCord deals. And it stays upstairs. 5 in a row. Corners are in for Wesleyan as the bases remain loaded. 1-0 on the way. And that one is going to clip Lowry on her way by, and we're tied again. I think we're going to ask, did that hit her? I think that's what's going to be asked here. Oh no, Grant, what'd you see?
I thought it hit her elbow. That's the first thing I saw, and not sure where that from words. It looked pretty clear to me. I could be wrong about that, but.
So we're going to have an umpire discussion on if the batter was hit here and if we have a tie game or not.
Either way, McCord struggling with control. First 6 pitches, 4 straight balls, then 1 this at bat, and then I mean, obviously that was at least a ball with that second pitch.
Yep.
Just debating if it hit her or not, but.
So we're going to go back. I think they might tell Lowry to go back. Now Coach Martin wants to have a discussion with the field umpire. Either way, at the end of this, the bases will be loaded. The Lions will either be tied or will be just a run behind. I think Coach Martin got the answer that he wanted from any of the umpires. So we are going to return. It'll be 8-7 and a 2-0 count on Lowry. Or 1-1. Where'd the strike come from?
Maybe, I think
one?
the call might have been that it hit the bottom of the bat. Maybe instead of her hand or her elbow. Maybe
Where
that was
did you
it.
get that from?
I have no idea. It's just, but the only possibility that I can think in my mind is that. But I guess it's 1-2 now.
How does it hit the bottom of the bat if the argument was to hit the elbow?
Oh yeah, I think of no other way for it to be a strike besides that, right?
You would think.
Yeah.
So 1-2 count for Lowry as McCord looks to the forearm to check. And we're going to have time here for McCord. Lions bases loaded, threatening some more. Down 1. This one out towards right field. That'll lay down for a foul ball. Ball finds its way back inside the circle to McCord. Lowry climbs back into the right-handed batter's box. One, two. On the way. Lowry swings and puts it in the air to right field. That's at least going to get a runner home as Sawyers collects it. And the Lions tie it up off the bat of Jasmine Lowry with a sacrifice fly. Advancing to third base here was Votava. Still at first, I believe, is Nerva. Yeah.
I'll help the stat sheet.
Yeah, it will.
Get free RBI with a technically not a plate appearance. Sacrifice fly.
Bring up Mandy Peretti. Single and a triple for her to this point. Lions searching for another 5 spot here. That one's off the end of the bat. They have them on the corners. Throw it back to McCord. Had a problem with that not baseball. That's softball. She'll return to the home plate umpire. Peretti. Checks the wristband. And the 0-1 on the way. Peretti launches it inside, down to second base. Sliding in is Speaks. So now both runners in scoring position for the Lions. McCord spinning a ball in the left hand. That misses high. For another ball, 2-1. Lions have just worn down this Wolves pitching staff. Bailey Davis waits on deck. Peretti, 2-1, popped up deep to left field. That is going to be in play. Thought that it was going to be well out, but Tatum had a good run at that one, but it does touch down green. It'll just count as a long strike number 2. Two on the way. Off the hands, popped up, left field. Tatum settling under it. Here comes the runner from third. Tatum fires it in, and they're going to let it come across. Lions now up by 1, 9-8. So back-to-back sacrifice flies for Lowry and Peretti.
Now back to BP, Bailey Davis.
Here's Bailey Davis. RBI for her last time up, although she did ground out. She's 1 for 2. Speaks at second. This one a chopper. Out to Humphreys at second. Fires over to right at first. And the side is retired. So Lions not able to do maximum damage, but they do take the lead off of 4 runs. 9-8 your score as we head to the top of the 4th inning. You're watching Piedmont Lions softball on YouTube. Welcome back, everybody. Be a new pitcher for the Lions. Taylor Spivey takes residence inside the circle. 4.96 ERA for Spivey. As that is a strike on the outer half.
Where did you say? I think you're up. I don't know why it went to zeros for the fourth inning, but
Another one fired in there, so now 0-2 from Spivey as she faces off against Stacia Campbell.
It still says I'm in top of the fourth.
Leading off here, this top of the fourth inning. Off the hands, into the mitt of Speaks right in front of the second base bag. And there's one away. Perkins is going to stay in and play second base here.
I think you think Michaela Tomlinson.
Michaela Tomlinson 0 for 2, a strikeout and a pop out for her.
It says your top four.
Strike. Good job by Spivey there. Fired on in. Spivey out of Jefferson, Georgia. Second most in strikeouts on the team this year with 26 behind Steinmeier. Looking to pick up another here. One-two pitch. High and tight. Having to lean out of the way of that one was Tomlinson. The Wesleyan coach asking if it hit her. No.
I like the idea, though, to go high and in to try to jam her, set her eyesight up on the 1-2.
See what she does with it. 2-2, and she did put it low and away, but a good job by Tomlinson to put a bat on that one and chop it out. It hit the ground so hard that it bounced over this tall fence we have.
It's about a 20-foot fence.
It's up there.
Tough job.
Yeah. Spivey twirls another 2-2. Not a bad idea to go off speed there, but it stays up a little bit too much, and that'll fill up the count. No free passes here. Make them earn it. Summer Wright waits on deck. She's 1 for 2. 3-2. Foul off again as that hits the bar of the fence. Leaves it wavering a little bit before Spivey gets the ball right back to her from green. Spivey, foot center of the slab. Gets a sign in the 3-2. Popped up, out of play. Let's do it again. Beautiful day here on campus. Looking for even more beautiful pitch here on 3-2. Off the hands, high in the air, right behind the third base bag, and Centrone able to hang with it as she steps into the outfield grass, and they are quickly 2 away. Bring up Summer Wright. Strike out and a single for her in this ball game so far. Hard to believe we're only in the 4th inning. That 2nd and 3rd inning took some time off the clock for sure, as that one paints the outer half 0-1. One and one. Right. Steadies the bat and chops this one over to Centrone. Centrone fires across. It's the first 1-2-3 inning for Piedmont pitching here at the WAC. We headed to the bottom of the 4th inning. Lions look to add some more on the board. They're up by 1, 9-8. You're watching Piedmont Lions softball on YouTube.
line, check next to Hannah Cintron.
225.
Cintron stands in. 1 for 1. A walk and a single last time she was up. Excuse me. McCord still out there for Wesleyan as she misses inside for ball 1.
Technically, I don't have to put the number up there, but it would be so nice. That way they can know I'm paying attention.
1-1 offering on the way from McCord. Outside, 2-0. Not a bad start here. It'll be Cintron, Green, and Perkins due up for the Lions here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Look to add on to a 9-8 lead. Man, it's been a slugfest, like I've said, folks, first couple innings here. That 2nd inning took a good long while, and the 3rd, just about as long. And here Cintron watches one outside, 3-0.
And the bottom halves have started the same way for these Lions. Obviously, they got the 5 and the 4 spots in the 2nd and 3rd, but they've gotten runners on early, and they've been ahead in the count every time.
Cintron is squaring a bunt here, but she's just going to watch it by. She'll be a leadoff walk.
Now to bat the catcher, Jordan Green.
Jay Green up.
I did a conflict on a trampoline yesterday. I landed off the trampoline on the bar. I right through the
Green gets a sign from Coach Martin there. Lions looking to do it again here in the bottom half. Went scoreless in the first, but then popped up for 9 the next 2. And already threatening for some more here in the 4th. One 1-0 on the way. Man, McCord just not having a feel for the zone at all. They took out Blankenship, put in McCord with a hope that she might be able to miss a couple more bats, and, well, she's just missing more than that. Missing the zone as well.
It's everywhere. It's inside, outside, high, low. It's like an alternating little carousel of missing the plate, except for there, obviously.
Well, there you go. That is what we call a commentator's curse here.
Prove me wrong.
As a first strike is fired.
She needed that, though. That's been a while before she's been able to at least be one pitch behind the count. She's been at least 2 or 3.
Green steadies a black bat behind a black helmet and awaits a 2-1. Here it is. Strike. That was a good piece there from McCord. What are they saying down there, Grant?
Can't hear.
2-2 on the ground. McCord will grab it and fire over to first base. Wright did not hold the bag.
That looked to me like Wright got the foot back down.
It pulled her off the bag
Yeah.
initially, but she was back on it in plenty of time.
I'm furious if I'm not Wesleyan. Coach, goodness.
We're going to check on this.
Yeah.
Green should be out.
Yes.
If we're being completely honest and unbiased here, Green should be out.
Wow.
It's an E1 at the moment.
The only thing I can think of there is that umpire's field of view for the foot would have been blocked because of first baseman's body, but it's all I can really imagine. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. Yeah.
Goodness.
It's a fun little Sunday here.
Oh, boy. So, advancing to second is Cintron. Coach Martin's going to go out there and plead his case. Coming up next is Perkins. So Lions still trying to add more to that 1-run lead that they carry right now. Perkins, a single last time she was up, came off the bench swinging hot. Took over for Maddie Cronick. Coach Martin still having a discussion with that umpire. He was gesturing to elbow. I don't know if he's still arguing that hit by pitch from last inning.
Now batting second baseman, Addie Perkins.
So runner at second with 1 away. Perkins squares a bunt and puts it foul.
Surprised Coach Martin not letting Perkins swing the bat here. She's been hot getting the ball into the outfield with 1 gone and a runner on second, already in scoring position. So
Coach Martin trying to force defense for the Wolves and in part get that runner over to third base and then force a perfect pitch to make sure that she stays put where she would be at third base. 0-1 on the way. That one's out to left field. That's going to be a foul ball, and it will find grass.
yeah, and again with Perkins swinging away, she's got a really good extension when she swings that bat, which leads to a little bit of a pull tendency, but I think it works because she's got a good amount of power.
Wind now picking up a little bit towards center field. More like kind of out towards right center, more or less. 0-2 count for Perkins. Looks to fight back. McCord looking for the second out of this inning. Here it is. Perkins takes it low. Not a bad idea there by McCord to see if Perkins was tended to swing there. Runner at second is Centrone. Reached on a walk, and Perkins, hectic swing there and aggressively chops it on the ground foul. One, two on the way. Perkins again fights it off and sends it foul. It'll be deposited back behind the Lions dugout. Lions trying to bring that runner home. Perkins is up right now. Votava behind her. Votava's been on base both times. Walk and a bunt single for her. 1-2 coming on the way from McCord. She leans back and fires, and Perkins watches it outside. Runner's going. Throw down. He is going to get her. Centrone, I'm not sure if she was running on the pitch or running on the outside wild pitch or attempted wild pitch. It was a fantastic pick by Laviano. But that base runner erased, and now a 2-2 count on Perkins. McCord leans back, fires, and that one chopped off. Man, how did Perkins get a piece of that one? Now Laviano goes out, maybe to discuss some signs. Got a little crossed up there, did the two. They seem all good, though. So 2-2 again. Roller over to McElveen, and she'll fire across the diamond, and the sides are tired. So Lions go down not 1-2-3, but they do to get a base runner, thrown out, caught stealing, and we will throw it to the top of the fifth inning. Lions skinny 1-run lead, 9-8. You're watching Piedmont Lions softball on YouTube. Taylor Spivey out there for another inning of work. Was able to set down the Wolves 1-2-3. Haven't had that all game long. Even in the first inning, it was a walk, then a caught stealing, then a line out and a strikeout looking for Megan Steinmeier, who started off this game. Lions coming off a day where they blasted the Agnes Scott Scotties, including a 5-inning no-hitter. Had the bats working, had the gloves working. In this game, been a little bit of the opposite. Been a lot of hits for both squads. In fact, 19 hits through 4 complete. And 17 runs. 0-2 pitch from Spivey as this one's fought off from number 11 for them. That is McCord. She takes the place of Avery Blankenship, excuse me. Spivey brings a tan glove up and fires and misses outside. Blankenship's day was done on the pitching end, but you kind of missed the bat. She was 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs. A 1-2. McCord, a hot shot over to Perkins, who's able to handle it high at the chest, and there's one away.
Tough play.
McCord frustrated without. She did. She put good barrel on the ball. She's hopping mad over down to the first baseline. Obviously, she's just a little frustrated because she put it on the screws, but either way, it's an out. Ava Hernandez takes a strike on the outer half. Oh, 2. Spivey, appreciate it. Working quickly here. She has to wait a little bit here and just get a ball back from the dugout. Now one low in the dirt. So we've seen that exact sequence against McCord. 2 strikes, then you throw one low. Let's see if Hernandez gets one to swing at and chop down, like McCord did before her. She's got one to hit and fouled it on back.
Talked about the plate discipline for these Wolves, and now all of a sudden the Lions looking for a much more aggressive pitching approach, going right at them to try to see if they can just get ahead in the count.
Hit the ball.
Working. Yeah, and throwing it in the zone on the first pitch as well.
Make them prove they can hit it. 1-2 on the way. Just a touch inside. Everyone kind of raises the palms to the sky, asking where that was. If it were a day where we haven't had a couple of the calls that we've had, I might agree with the home plate umpire. That one's going to be put over near the bleachers of the soccer field. But if you're going to be bad, be consistently bad.
I love that. It's a great quote.
Two. Slapped out to left field in between Cintrone and Speaks. That's a good base hit there for Ava Hernandez, who's been on base all 3 times, couple walks, and now a single for her. And we'll go to the top lineup. Here's McKinley Tatum.
Now batting left fielder, McKinley Tatum.
I gotta get a new pencil. This eraser stinks. Smears everywhere.
It's the Walmart brand mechanical pencil, too. It's supposed to be good.
Everything from Walmart's supposed to be good.
It's cheaper, too.
1-0-1 after Tatum swings through that one.
Is that technically a shameless promo, or is that more of a bash at Walmart?
Might be a plugola there. We might have to watch out. It's now an even count here for Spivey. Hernandez awaits over at first base, excuse me. Swings right on top of that one, does Tatum. Now Tatum behind in the count, 1-2. Lions and Wolves just trying to get through this 5th inning. Those first 3 innings, I'm sure, took a lot out of both sides. Throw down to second base by Green is a good throw. Did they get her? Yeah! The throw beat her, but it was a good swim maneuver there by Hernandez to try to escape the tag from Speaks, but Speaks able to apply the leather, and there are 2 away. So base runner erased, and a 2-2 count to Tatum. See if Spivey can make quick work of her and send us to the bottom half of the inning. Spivey fires this one out towards the dugout. You know, usually dugouts not very safe, but here at Piedmont, they are wrapped in netting. Unless you're sitting in one of those openings, you are going to be A-OK. Everybody in here as Tatum takes one upstairs and a little bit inside as well. Three-two. On the ground, Cintron collects and fires, and the side is retired. We throw it to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Lions still up by 1, looking to add on to it. 9-8 your score. You're watching Piedmont Lions softball on YouTube. Kennedy Votava due up for us here. Still facing off against McCord as things have settled down for now at the Walker Athletic Complex.
Don't jinx it, Eric.
I knocked on wood. I said for now. I put qualifiers. I did everything I was supposed to do.
I'm holding you physically responsible for that.
Physically responsible? What does that entail? Don't chuckle like that behind me. It's a 1-0 count on Votava. Has a perfect bunt on the third base line. McElveen has no play, and Votava is 2 for 2 with 2 bunt singles. I'm being menaced in the booth.
But look what happens, Eric. As soon as you say that, there's a runner on. You know.
So when I start getting threatened, a runner gets on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that more often. Actually.
What do you mean you're gonna start doing that more often? There's Hartley Nerva, sacrifice bunt her first plate appearance, and then got a single and an RBI last time she was up. Big swing and a miss there from Nerva. Try to get all of that one, send it out towards left field, but comes up empty, and an 0-1 count on her. Oh, 1 on the way from McCord. Runner is going. There will be no throwdown as the defense will let her have that one.
Yeah, no communication at all between second and short. They just looked like they were a little bit caught off guard.
I'm not sure what we have now. I saw someone point to their wrist. I would assume maybe that's like a clock thing. I don't know if the Runner advancing is 1-1 to count. The runner at scoring position. That one too high, too inside. Nobody out as leadoff runner Votava just reached and got it to second on a stolen bag. McCord 2-1. Outside. 3-1 to Nerva.
And again, these Wolves in a tough spot with no one out with the top of the order right around the way. Each inning for the Lions seems to end up the same way, where you have the 8-9-1 or the 7-8-9 hitters to start off.
Mm-hmm. 3-1. Big cut and a miss there by Nerva. Tried to get all of that one. McCord. Puts softball into the glove. Wheels back and fires. 3-2. Ball 4. Talk about the bottom of your lineup doing work. Votava and Nerva are a combined 3 for 3, but they have contributed in every single one of their plate appearances. Votava's been on all 3 times today. And a sacrifice bunt for Nerva, her first time up, and now back-to-back on bases. So single for her and then a walk. And here's Maddie Speaks.
Looks good in the OBP, too.
Absolutely. Speaks lays down a perfect bunt. Speaks has wheels, and she's going to be safe. Third bunt single for the Lions. And the second one this inning. As now they are loaded once again for Jasmine Lowry, but not before we have a conference here from the coach from Wesleyan. Don't think that they're going to turn to anyone out of the bullpen here. McCord is going to have to ride this one out. Bases loaded again. Started off with Votava's bunt single. Nerva walked. Then Maddie Speaks laid down kind of an ambush surprise bunt there. Grant didn't expect that out of Speaks, who's been swinging it well. That's her third base hit, or excuse me, the second base hit of the ball game. Walked her last time up before that bunt. And I'll bring up Jasmine Lowry. Lowry, just 1 for 2 today. Ground out her first plate appearance, a single and a sacrifice fly for her. So she does have a pair of RBIs. But she could come up big here. Give the Lions a little bit of extra cushion to push them into the 6th inning. Lions look to get something out of this one. Have the bases loaded multiple times this afternoon. This is a chopper. McElveen comes up with it. Gloves, fires to first base. That was a good play. One does come home, though. So give her RBI. It's 10-8.
Opening right fielder, Mandy Peretti.
Here's Mandy Peretti.
Yeah, making sure. Yeah.
So that was the first out of the inning. Peretti 2 for 2. Single, a triple, bless you, and a sacrifice fly.
All in unison.
Lions have runners at second and third and 1 away. Here it comes from McCord. High and inside. Snap throw down to third base, but back in standing is Nerva down there. Base hit the outfield is going to go a long way here if you can just drive it out. Now misses low and away. Walk also does you some justice, brings Bailey Davis to the plate.
Really?
Ball 4. So the bases are loaded here for Davis.
Bailey Davis.
That was
All I can do is wonder.
that was right down the plate. That was like somehow high. I don't know. Look, this has been cold. Okay. And I'm not an umpire myself.
Davis, left-hander, facing off against McCord, the left-hander. And this one on the ground. Campbell goes right through her legs. So it is going to be 2 runs coming home, maybe 3, as Tatum unable to get it. In fact, she comes up limping a little bit. There's a bases clearing knock for Davis. Or rather, do you call that an error? 2 errors. Hit, then an error? Yeah, that's what I would say. So 2 RBIs on the base hit. Then the error in left leads to the next run, so that makes it 12-8. Here's Haley Cintron.
I had them at 13. Oh, it was 3 rounds, right? Yeah. Okay. Wait, so then 12, right? Yeah, 12. Okay.
This one out towards center field. That's going to lay down for a base hit. Davis gets the green light around third base. Here she comes. They're going to fire to the plate, but it's going to be no good, as standing up scoring is Davis, and Cintron gets the tag slapped on her trying to go to second base. So now the bases will be empty for Jordan Green. But another one comes home, 14-8. Green lines it over to McElveen, and the throw is low, and unable to scoop it is right. So we will keep it running. In foul territory was Green, so the tag is to not be applied. So we will keep the line going on to Addie Perkins. And man, Lions, they've had their big innings before. This one feels like the ones where they're just opening the gates. They're able to put the bat on the ball.
Exactly, and they hit it over to McElveen, who has the lowest fielding percentage for these Wolves. So what looked like a routine play just had a messed up throw.
I need to go back and look, but I'm like 99% sure it's 14.
Was that a ball or a strike?
1-0 on the way from McCord as she checks the wrist. That one's above the helmet of Perkins, heads up.
McCord's been sending him towards those righties' helmets. It's been pretty dangerous. There's been a couple that they've had to duck down for.
2-0. Here's the count. Sorry, folks, I'm trying to fill out the rest of my scorebook here. Everything happened so fast. That is away from the catcher, as advancing to second base is Green. The Lions put another runner in scoring position as they threaten ever closer. Two outs. The Lions look to keep it rolling with a 3-0. They've had plenty of 2-out magic this afternoon.
I don't think so. They could re-enter her, theoretically, but I don't think they will.
And taking all the way there is Perkins. McCord checks the forearm once more. Perkins awaits the 3-1. Big cut and a miss. Something I appreciate from Perkins is she's not afraid to take the big swing.
Especially with a big lead like this and 2 outs with a head in the count, you might as well.
It'll be a full count here. McCord looking to end this inning after allowing 5. 3-2. Perkins swings right through it, and the side is retired. So we'll take it to the top of the 6th inning. Lions able to put up 5. 14-8 your score. You're watching Piedmont Lions softball on YouTube. Alexis Humphreys is going to lead us off here. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 against Taylor Spivey, who's come on and done a fantastic job so far for the Lions.
She really stepped in when they needed her. McCraney and Steinmeier had a tough job in those first couple innings. Obviously, 8 runs put up in those first 3, so Spivey's stepped in and done quick work.
Hard hit on the ground, tricky bounce, but Speak's able to hang with it. I don't know what it kicked against, maybe a clump of dirt or a rock. Either way, that was a wild bounce, and they're going to have to, where are they going to find that one? I don't know if they found it. Either way. I thought the second it hit that one, I did not expect it to fall into the mid of Speaks, but good job to stay with it. Here's McElveen. As she puts one in the air to Nerva, and 2 pitches, 2 outs. Here's Taylor Laviano, who's been a thorn in the side of the Lions this afternoon. Not yet. Infield single, her first time up, and then a double. Her second plate appearance popped up in that same inning to end the inning. That was back in the 3rd. Strike. Oh, 1. Ball outside. Not a bad idea from Spivey. Just a touch low, it seems. So I'll bump it 2 balls and a strike so far. Spivey looking to climb back into the count against Laviano. Off the hands, going to have some English coming down, but able to hang with it is Perkins. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 1, 2, 3 goes the Wolves. Good job by Spivey. We'll see you in the bottom half of the inning. Lions up 14-8. You're watching Piedmont Lions softball on YouTube.
6 inning.
Welcome back to the WAC, everybody. Eric Edmondson here with you alongside Grant Prather. Lions looking for 2 to see if they can end this game 1 a little bit early. Ball.
I mean, I can't tell from that angle. Yeah, probably high.
Start off with Votava. Bunt single last time she started that rally. And there's a strike. It's kind of in the same spot as the first one. Corners are in, protecting against a bunt from Votava. I mean, she stung him twice today. She got a pair of bunt singles. Long look for McCord. Now the 1-1 as this one's off the hands through her mitt and into center field. So it is a single. But Votava says, come on, I'm not going to bunt every time, guys. I'm just going to put this one in the outfield.
Now batting the center fielder, Hartley Nerva.
Here's Hartley Nerva. One-0 for Nerva. She digs in. That's upstairs and thinking about Votava over there. Laviano was ready to hop out of the crouch and fire to second.
Would you believe it? Another inning where the 9 holes up for the Lions with no one gone, and the top of the order is right around the way.
Right
again.
there.
Yeah.
It happens every time.
Story of the day.
2-0 on the way. Votava is going, and there is going to be a play. I thought there wasn't going to be, but a good throw by Laviano made it a little bit closer than it probably should have been, as that was behind the head of Nerva. But Laviano was able to snatch it out of the air, able to complete the transfer quickly and give her fielder an opportunity to get the tag on the back of the head of Votava, but Votava slides in feet first safely with a stolen bag, and now a 3-0 count on the way to Hartley Nerva. On deck, as Grant said, was Maddie Speaks. Ball 4.
Now batting the shortstop.
That's going to cause a visit to the mound. I think that might be the last pitch that McCord throws, and McCord hands that one off. She'll walk back to the dugout. We'll have a new pitcher to tell you about when we come back. You're watching Piedmont Lions Softball on YouTube. New pitcher, it'll be the freshman Kaylee Oliver. Just 2 2/3 innings pitched for the freshman. This will be her, is that right? This will be her second appearance of the year. Facing off against the... Hey, that's not too fair. Facing off the top of this Lions order. Maddie Speaks. Those 2 runners on base. There's a bunt perfect by Speaks. She's going to reach. And now it gets thrown down the line. One's going to come home, and now the Lions 1 away from walking this one off mercy rule style. So a bunt single. Give that to Speaks. That's her 2nd in a row. 3 base hits is certainly going to help the average. Give her... Count as an RBI? No. No RBI there.
Not bad, the first baseman, Jasmine Lowry.
Motava comes home on the error. Here's Jasmine Lowry. Bunts this one. Back behind the plate. Be a foul ball. We'll do it again.
Well, not a grand slam, but a 3-run. Or 2-run. Yeah, 3-run. I didn't see her there on the side. 0 out. Just hit it out. Bang! Or just a pop fly hit.
Have you ever seen a girl hit outside the park?
It's been a couple of years.
0-1. Throw down to second base. Here comes the runner. The out's there, and the Lions are going to take this one out. Mercy, is that right?
Should be.
Should be, yeah.
It should be 8 runs, right?
Yeah.
16.
Yep,
Yeah,
there it is. All right. They missed my call. And the Lions are going to take this one out on a caught stealing, coming home attempt there. I don't know what you're going to call it. 16-8, the final in game 1. Man, first 3 innings were what really told this when the Lions pulled away after the 5th. And that is how the story was told at the end of this one. We'll see you in about 30 minutes for game 2. Keep it right here at the WAC, everybody. You're watching Piedmont Lions. Well, not anymore. You're going to be watching Piedmont Lions softball on YouTube. We'll see you in a few.